My name is Amelia. And if I told you that one night could change everything you thought you knew about love, would you believe me? That a single forbidden touch, a glance that lingered too long, could unravel years of certainty? This is the story of how I crossed a line I never thought I would, and how that night left me questioning everything about desire, loyalty, and the meaning of love. I never looked for him. In fact, I thought I had everything figured out. I was young, in love, and steady in a relationship that I believed was unshakable. But life has a way of bringing temptation in the places you least expect it. He was older, wiser, a man with an air of control and calm that drew me in before I even realized it. His voice was deep, his eyes full of secrets, and every word he spoke seemed to unravel something inside me I didn't know was tangled. The first time I noticed him truly was at a gathering. Laughter filled the air, glasses clinked, music played softly in the background. Yet in a room full of people, my eyes kept finding him. He carried himself differently, with a presence that silenced the noise around him. And when his gaze finally caught mine, it was as if the world had suddenly stopped. I told myself it was nothing, just a moment, just curiosity. But my heart was already betraying me, beating too fast, too loud, aching for something I couldn't name. Days passed, and yet his image followed me everywhere. I heard his voice in my dreams. I replayed that moment again and again. It was madness, a kind of hunger I had never felt before. And I hated myself for wanting it, for thinking of him when I shouldn't, for longing for a touch that wasn't meant for me. But longing doesn't ask permission. It grows, it takes root, and soon it consumes. It happened one evening when the world outside was quiet. A storm raged in the sky, rain beating against the windows, thunder shaking the silence between us. I hadn't expected to see him alone, hadn't expected the air to feel so charged, like electricity waiting to strike. He looked at me, and I swear I forgot how to breathe. My hands shook, my chest burned, and yet I couldn't look away. "Amelia," he said softly, my name breaking the silence like a promise. I should have left. I should have turned away, reminded myself of boundaries, of loyalty, of all the reasons why this was wrong. But instead, I stood frozen, caught between fear and desire, between what I knew was safe and what I wanted more than anything. His hand brushed against mine, the smallest touch, and it was like fire rushing through my veins. Every ounce of me trembled with the weight of that moment. The storm outside grew louder, but nothing could match the storm inside me. And then, without another word, the distance between us disappeared. His lips were on mine, fierce and hungry, as if we had both been holding back for far too long. I melted into him, lost in the taste of something I was never supposed to have. My mind screamed forbidden, but my body answered with a desperate yes. That night was a blur of fire and whispers, of secrets exchanged in the dark, of touches that burned deeper than I thought possible. He held me, as though I was both a treasure and a sin, as though every kiss might be our last. And maybe it should have been. But in those hours, I didn't care about rules, about right or wrong. All I cared about was him, about us, about the way he made me feel alive in a way I had never felt before. When morning came, reality returned. The sunlight through the window was merciless, reminding me of everything I had crossed, everything I stood to lose. He looked at me with eyes that held both regret and longing, and I knew he felt the same war inside himself. We didn't speak of promises, didn't pretend we could change the world to fit our desires. It was just a moment in time, a forbidden night that we both knew could not last. But the memory stayed. Days turned into weeks, and still, the echo of his touch haunted me. I walked through life, carrying a secret that weighed on my heart, a secret that no one could ever know. I smiled in conversations, I laughed at jokes, I played my part. But inside, a fire burned quietly, a reminder of a love I could never claim, of a night that both ruined and awakened me. I asked myself again and again, was it worth it? Was one night of passion worth the endless guilt, the questions that now chased me in the dark? And yet, when I closed my eyes, all I could remember was the way he looked at me, as if I was the only thing in the world that mattered. Love is complicated, desire even more so. Sometimes the lines blur, sometimes the heart betrays what the mind knows. That night taught me more about myself than years of safe choices ever did. It showed me the power of temptation, the fragility of promises, and the dangerous beauty of forbidden love. I don't know where he is now. I don't know if he thinks of me when the night is quiet and the world is asleep. But I know I think of him. And I know that even though it was wrong, even though it could never last, it was real. And maybe that's the cruelest part of all, that the most unforgettable love is sometimes the one you can never keep. So I ask you this: if you were in my place, would you have walked away? Or would you have surrendered to the fire, just as I did?